Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're working on my client's hands. We're just starting off by removing her last set. You can see her nails have grown a ton since we did her last set, and I honestly think this was maybe 4 or 5 weeks, but her nails grow so fast. And this was only a gel manicure as well. Like, this isn't builder, but her nails are super strong, so they can just last really well. Like, we've had her nails grown out, I want to say, to probably like a long extension length if we're comparing to extensions, and they've just been fine. Like, she can just manage well, which is crazy. So we're just starting off with the prep. I'm just pushing back her cuticles. Why did I say it that way? Pushing back her cuticles, and then just using a little bit here just to lift up that skin, exfoliate a bit of the protein off of the nail plate. She doesn't have a ton. Her cuticles are generally really easy to work with. So just doing that, mostly lifting up that skin in preparation for snipping it off. So I start by doing the left side of the nail on forward, and then I switch my e-file to reverse, where I do the right side of the nail. I'm also you'll see I go along the side of the skin. Anytime there's a bit of roughness, I just exfoliate that. My clients generally appreciate that. Lots of them say that that's their favorite part. And then I'm just going in with my cuticle nippers and nipping off any dead skin. Just hitting the dead skin here, so anything that's white essentially, or doesn't have any color to it, because that is a sign of dead skin, and not, like, you don't want to nip live skin because that's got blood flow to it, and then that's how you cut your clients. We don't want to do that. After I've nipped the cuticles, I'm just going in with a sanding band. I'm both going over the natural part of the nail and just etching that up, as well as smoothing out the surface of the remaining gel. I do like to leave a thin layer of gel behind, so that way I'm not retouching my client's nails again and again and again. This is something I've talked about many a times, but that's what I'm doing here. I'm also getting rid of any lifting. She did have a touch of lifting on that one last nail. And then sometimes along the sides, just kind of at the, what's that called? Sidewalls. Kind of where your nails dry out and they curl a little bit. She doesn't have that majorly, but with a bit of a drier winter right now. It's been so cold in Toronto. We do sometimes get a bit of lifting there. So on this hand, I am going in and I'm just filing down the length a little bit. We're doing a square shape. I start with one nail. I usually get my clients like thoughts on that length, and then we go from there, and then I'm just kind of length matching. But especially when I'm filing a square, I don't just file with her hand straight up towards me. I start by getting the length somewhere where it needs to be, and then I flip over her hand, which you will see, but I can't really film that. Like, I've got her hand like this. You can kind of get the idea. I'm filing over the top. This helps get everything a lot more square. And then you can also see the length and length match quite a bit better, which I enjoy doing. Once the nails are all prepped and wiped down, then I'm just going in with some base coat. This is the Zombie base. We love her. And just applying a layer of Zombie base to the nail. You can see the way I move my brush, I'm like scrubbing the gel in. It looks like my hand's vibrating. I'm scrubbing the gel into the nail plate, and then I smooth it over afterwards. This is just getting all of the gel into those little etches that we created with our sanding band. So I'm just scrubbing that in so that way it's, doing what it's meant to do. Okay, can we just talk about this color? This is Mulled Wine from the Red Wish collection, and I am obsessed with this gel. If you guys saw my last swatching video, I swatched the Red Wish collection, and I A, love that collection, but B, specifically love this color. So what I'm doing here is I'm applying a thin layer to the base. I'm sweeping my magnet across to demagnetize the base. That kind of pushes all the glitter away, so it just looks kind of solid, or like a syrupy color. And then the second coat is when I go in and I magnetize it. What this does is it really creates a really nice depth to the cat eye when you magnetize the next layer. And this specific color, I particularly like it because you know the effect when you apply a black base color, then you do a silver cat eye on top, and then you do a red jelly over top of that. This one particular color gives that, but just in one gel, which is kind of amazing because I do that technique a lot on some of my clients. They love that, but this one color creates that effect. I will say, throughout this video, I filmed this. I really wanted to show you guys this video because this color is just so freaking stunning. I'm just staring at that pinky right now. It is a little bit obviously harder to see because we're playing with lighting and the camera's in one spot, but I do try to get it so you can see a little bit of the cat eye as we're going through. And then I'm going to be working on top of the cat eye and doing art, and it is, again, a little bit trickier to see, but I'll do my best to describe in detail, and then just wait for the after shots because the after shots are so beautiful. Like, this set is going to be gorgeous. I can tell you, spoiler, I've seen it. So now on this ring finger here, I'm just going in, I'm using that same red color, and I'm just painting a heart. I start by outlining the heart, and then I go ahead and I fill it in. I'm just doing one layer because we already have a black base, and you can see on that first magnetization how well it like reflects. Ugh, I love watching cat eye, even if you just get little glimpses of it. It's so satisfying. Now on this finger, I'm painting chains. I'm hand painting chains. So basically how I'm doing this is it's almost like you're painting one side of a rectangle but leaving a gap in between, and then putting like a little like straight line. You'll get a glimpse. I'm going to show you on the other hand as well, and it's a little bit easier to see on the other hand. But I'm doing one kind of round, one strand of chain, and then I'm magnetizing it and flash curing it. You can see I'm painting kind of like the side of the rectangle and then putting a gap or a little line through to connect to the next partial rectangle. And it really gives this cool like chain effect. And then just magnetizing. And then we'll flip over to the other hand, which, newsflash, is, I think this is an XL length extension. My client wanted a split hand, one hand being XL length and the other hand being like her normal short length. We've done this on her. Usually we do like her natural length, but she really wanted to extend and have some super long square nails. So that's why we've not magnetized this hand. We will be, but that's why we've extended this hand. You can kind of see the chain shows a little bit better on that hand. Now again, I'm doing all my detailing on the black nails. I'm doing it in that same red cat eye. So I'm just creating an oval shape on this nail because I'm going to do some detailing around it. The inspo for this set was really like vampy and snakeskin and glowing orbs and like really like dark vibey. You gotta see, look at that, that's so pretty. Which I think we really hit the nail on the head with this one, with this being the vibe. I'm just using the Bandy overlay gel here. This is just like a top coat, and I'm just putting this over top of this nail because we will be doing some clear 3D. So once that's cured, I've got the Bandy overlay in a jar, which is also non-white, and I'm just creating these 3D kind of beads. I love doing, not beads, like kind of swoops. I love doing clear 3D on top of magnet gel because it's just so, it really just literally magnifies the glitter underneath. It's so nice. And then I'm using my Cocoist black accessory bond, and I'm using that to create some detailing on some of the nails because I'm going to be applying chrome. I love this gel for like doing textured nail art. So I'm basically just going around that oval there. On the pinky, I just did some little like swoopy kind of details. And then once I've got the chrome applied there, I'm just gonna file the edges. And I've been doing this lately where kind of as I finish up nails, I've been top coating like pretty much right away. And I just feel more secure in that. I don't know why, it's come out of really nowhere. But like when I'm doing something that isn't gel, so if I'm doing chrome or airbrush or whatever, I've started top coating. So I'm using the top coat here. This is the Jinbei Crazy Top Soft. I'm just applying a layer of that over this nail, just so I don't accidentally do something to the chrome. I don't know. I'm living in fear. But yeah, again, same thing here. And then this top coat, it is pretty thin, but you can flip the hand upside down and get some good smoothing effect. Okay, so what I'm doing here now, I'm kind of using lace stretched out across the finger, and I'm doing a bit of black. Like I'm just doing a hit of black, and it kind of gives this snakeskin effect. It's gonna be hard to see, but you will see it in the after shots. But it just adds, it's not super obvious because this cat eye goes pretty dark when shifted, but when it catches in the light, you can really see this kind of snakeskin effect. And it's pretty subtle, but it's like, it just like adds a nice texture. And I think I like it in this instance better than I would like doing blooming gel or anything like that. Now we're gonna add some spikes here. My client, I was like, oh, do you wanna add some like silver beads? And she's like, do you have like the spikes? And I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot about spikes. I had a hot minute with spikes where I used them in basically every set I could. And so I was super happy that she asked for them, because I was like, yeah, this is exactly what this set needs, is spikes. So we're going around on all the nails where we did the just that airbrushing with the lace. We're just adding some spikes and a couple of beads. And then you do want to keep in mind, obviously, I mentioned this a trillion times a day, I feel, when you are working with like a metallic bead or accessory or whatever, the finish can wear off of them, so you want to make sure that you're putting gel on top. I'm just going back in with the Gin Bee Ivy, and I'm just going, like, placing a dollop on top of the beads and then using a liner brush to like spread them around before flash curing them. And you can always add a bit more if you need. And then yeah, I'm going to do that to all of the beads I applied, and then once they're all cured, then I'm going to go over and I'm going to start top coating as well. When you're top coating with beads on, you got to be careful. You don't want, I find the product will run faster. It'll kind of want to run off of the beads. I usually will top coat like one nail at a time when I'm working with charms and stuff on top of nails, just to make sure everything's stayed in the place where I want it. But I do love, this top coat's really nice. It's super, super shiny. And here is the finished product. So you can understand why I really wanted to show you guys this set. They're so beautiful. This wasn't a super long set to do, but it was so impactful. That red Wish collection just coming in for us. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will catch you in the next video.